Tonight on SA Today, Baked Magazine's Charlotte Stockdale joins us to talk about upcoming events with SA. Our own Caroline Strange covers last night's General Assembly meeting, and the cold isn't just here in Syracuse. I'm Will Gerhard, and this is SA Today. Hello and welcome to SA Today. Syracuse University's 17th University Presser has been announced. His name is Sean O'Keefe, and he's a Syracuse alum and former NASA administrator. He was previously a professor in the Maxwell School and will likely teach leadership courses across multiple programs, although nothing has been finalized. O'Keefe used to be the chancellor of Louisiana State University and currently holds the title of chairman and CEO of Airbus Group Incorporated. The death of a doctor in Nebraska marks the second person in the U.S. to die from Ebola. Dr. Martin Salia contracted Ebola while treating patients in Sierra Leone. Salia was misdiagnosed at first and sent home, but was back at the hospital within 2 days. 4 doctors did everything they could to save Salia. He is survived by his wife and 2 kids. Protesters and authorities are preparing for the worst in Ferguson. Missouri Governor Jay Nixon has declared a state of emergency, calling in the National Guard to help keep the peace. Meanwhile, protesters have been continuing their demonstrations and practicing how to handle a clash with police. Business owners in the area say they just want the conflict to be over. As a precaution, schools instructed parents to immediately pick up their children from schools if the verdict was announced early in the day. Four rabbis are dead and 6 are wounded after an attack at a Jerusalem synagogue early this morning. 2 Palestinian men carrying weapons entered the building during morning prayers. In response, Israel has tightened security in certain areas of the city, and a spokesperson for the Israeli Prime Minister had this to say.
We can't allow the recurrence of this sort of atrocity against innocent civilians. And we will do what needs to be done to protect our people and to return safety and peace and quiet to Jerusalem, which all of Jerusalem's inhabitants deserve, both Israeli and Palestinian.
With us now is the PR director for Baked Magazine and a member of the PR committee within SA, Charlotte Stockdale. Charlotte, thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome, Will.
So Charlotte, what is Baked Magazine doing with Student Association?
Sure. So we're launching our fall 2014 issue right after break ends. And we decided that we should partner with SA because they, represent all the organizations on campus. And we're having a baked sale to launch the magazine.
And what will this event entail?
So we're partnering with 4 local eateries on campus that we have highlighted on the Baked Magazine blog and the magazine itself. And they're donating food to us, which we're going to sell to students. And all proceeds raised will go to the Samaritan Center downtown. And it's basically a food shelter, like a food bank that gives, donates to the hungry.
So what 4 restaurants or bakeries is helping out
Sure.
with this?
We have Avocado, which is a new business. We have Thunder Cakes, which is run by my best friend, Courtney Futch. We have Recess Coffee, and then we have Picasso's.
Well, a lot of delicious places.
Yes,
so this
we have
should be a
wide
very,
array.
very exciting event. Now, when will this event be? We were talking earlier, you said earlier December?
Yes, so it's the Tuesday after break, so it's December 2nd from noon to 4 p.m.
And who will it be helping in particular?
Sure, we believe that no one should go hungry, especially during the holiday season, so we're helping all the hungry in the Syracuse area, and the Samaritan Center is located downtown.
What can we as the student body look forward to as consumers? And any idea who is donating to this bake sale?
Yeah, so the one to really look out for, and I'm being very biased saying this, but Thunder Cakes is my favorite bakery on campus. It's run by a student here, Courtney Futch, and she's donating a cake to us. So the first people to arrive will get the first slices of cake.
It's very generous. And now myself particularly, not the biggest sweets guy. Don't have the biggest sweet tooth.
Yeah.
What different sweets and different creations and different desserts should we look forward to the most at this event?
Sure. We're getting cookies from Avocado, which are going to be amazing, so you should definitely have that. Definitely try Thunder Cakes, and Recess Coffee is giving us a bunch of everything. And, they're ranging from products with peanuts in them to no peanuts at all, so just try everything.
Terrific. Well, Charlotte, thank you so much for joining us.
You're
It was a pleasure
welcome.
having you on. Look forward to getting some delicious treats soon enough. Coming up next on SA Today, the sitting continues, and our own Caroline Strange will join us in studio to recap last night's General Assembly meeting. Don't go away.
An 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice, 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 110. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Welcome back. Dat movement is still occupying Crouse-Heinz Hall and are in their 15th day. Students rallied again yesterday outside of the Hall of Languages in support of the 24 students still sleeping in the administration building. Students have been allowed to seek legal advice once the building opened yesterday. Students have voiced their concerns about repercussions from the Student Code of Conduct. No students have been asked to leave the building. Joining us now is our very own Student Association correspondent, Caroline Strange. Caroline, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
So there was a big General Assembly meeting last night. Can you give us a quick recap?
So it started off with, first off, the focus group that they had yesterday. So members of the Undergraduate Excellence Committee with Student Association President Boris Greasley himself is on, were introduced, and they kind of gave a little bit about what they were going to be doing. So they split off into 7 groups to discuss different sets of questions. So a couple of groups had another set had different questions. So overall, there were 3 different sets of questions, and then they discussed for a while. They came back all together. There were different people who took notes for each group, so they were able to come and kind of report back on what each group had to say about those issues. And then they were given time to sort of answer questions if anybody needed any clarification about why somebody said something for one set of questions over another. And then everybody kind of dispersed, or at least the focus group dispersed, and the administration, the faculty left. And they went into their reading of the now 54-page document that the general body has given out to kind of go over what essay can help them with, what each point, whether they came up with something for it or not. And overall, it was a pretty long meeting. It was over 3 hours long, but they kept going through it, and they made it all the way through to the end of the document before they dismissed.
Well, 3 hours is certainly an extremely long meeting, but it's great to hear that, because the students select these people, or these their peers, to hold these positions and do the best job they can and really make an impact on behalf of the student body. So Caroline, in particular, what were these focus groups addressing?
They focused on, each of the different groups focused on whether it was cross-disciplinary, whether it was the undergraduate experience as a whole, and they kind of delved into a couple of different questions. What is your undergraduate experience like? What are things you can do to improve on campus? Do you feel that your classes use cross-disciplinary methods? And do you think, should we have a common core for students? Those were some of the ones they touched on and how spaces are used across the university.
So quite a bit was discussed, obviously. It really seems like all dimensions were covered in a number of ways on behalf of the student body for these conversations. Also, a lot of students voiced their concerns and opinions about what should happen with the Student Center. So I believe we have a shot right here. If we could take a listen to that.
Shine Student Center, which is not really a student center because it's more of an office center, and we don't have anything for students. There's a lounge upstairs, but everybody's working there. Downstairs it's a maze with different offices. No one really goes there. No one really knows what's happening. And in the middle, there organizations are tabling, but it's not really a student center. So I think people need a student center to really feel connected to others.
So from everything, it sounds like quite an intricate plan. I mean, going down to how the hallways are going to go. It's great to hear that there has been progress on that, because I know it has been in discussion for a while now with the development of the new student center.
Mm-hmm. And they were able to get all the way through the general bodies document. They didn't touch on everything because obviously SA can't help them with everything, but they decided which sections that they could help with. So there was an entire part on DPS that they are going to take to their DPS advisory board, which SA has, where they meet with the chief and go through some of the things that the Department of Public Safety can work on, and other things that they're going to actually take action on, like a public relations campaign for sexual assault services here on campus, because some people are still really confused about that. There's still the issue of the advocacy center that keeps getting brought up. So they want to create this space that everybody can kind of learn about what there is and isn't here on campus.
That's right. Austin Golofsky was actually, he was here a few episodes ago, and he was talking about, again, condensing all that and having a universal center where everything could be, and because a lot of students are really unsure where it's going next. With that said, though, there were a lot of students who said, they were concerned that a lot of these changes weren't progressive. Is that correct?
Yeah, they did. That was one of the things that they touched on with the university, their no place for hate stance, and whether or not there should be some more decisive action on that. And they decided not to have a common core or any sort of one class that everybody has to take, although they might look into that a little bit more as we go on.
Sounds great. Caroline Strange, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure having you on. Coming up on SA Today, baby, it's cold outside. Stay with us.
I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
Welcome back. Well, if you're outside at all today, you may have noticed biting winds and bitterly cold temperatures. And if you're a freshman, I'd like to just welcome you to Syracuse's weather for the next 4 to 6 months, and with that, the next 4 years. But we weren't the only ones who experienced cold weather. Today, everywhere got a taste of a typical cold Syracuse winter. 49 of the 50 states were below freezing, and a winter storm has been sweeping across the United States, burying places like nearby Buffalo in snow. It's only a matter of time, Syracuse. Winter is coming. Well, that's all the time we have tonight in SA Today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Will Gerhardt. Have a great night, Syracuse.